Morning, everyone.
Morning, morning, morning.
It's good to see everybody this morning.
Good to be here.
Whoever's here and whoever's on the way.
Yes, sir.
Get a chance to see them when they get here.
All right.
I'm going to say a quick little Lord's Prayer and get started. Father in heaven, once again, I just thank you again this morning. Thank you again for having mercy on me and waking me to see another day I never seen before.
Yes, Lord.
I thank you for having mercy over me and my family and watching over us as we slept.
Yes, Lord.
And waking us to see another beautiful day we've never seen before.
Yes, Lord.
I thank you
Thank you, Lord.
and I love you
Thank you.
and I know I can't make it without you.
Yes,
Just
Lord.
ask in your name, amen. Thank you, Jesus.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Lord. Thank
All
you,
right.
Lord. Thank you.
Need to have a whole lot of people in here for this lesson.
Oh, all right. All right.
But like I said, this is how it goes sometimes. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get your way. You just got to take it as it comes each and every day. Ooh, that's pretty good, isn't it? All right. This morning, this lesson is talking about the subject of the lesson. I'm coming from my commentary. It's called Helping Neighbors in Need. The topic is giving generously. The lesson passage comes from Deuteronomy 15, 4 through 11, and Matthew 25, 42 through 45. The main thought, since there will never cease to be some in need on the earth, I therefore command you, open your hand to the poor and needy neighbor in your land. Deuteronomy 15:11, that's the main thought for the day. Now, I'm going to go ahead and read these scriptures, scriptures that I got here. This will give you an idea of what it's going to be like. This coming from the King James Version. When there shall be no poor among you, for the Lord shall greatly bless thee in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance to possess it. Only if thou carefully hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all these commandments which I command thee this day. For the Lord thy God blesseth thee, as he promised thee, and thou shalt lend unto many nations, that thou shalt not borrow, thou shalt reign over, and thou shalt reign over many nations, but they shall not reign over thee.
All right.
If there be among you a poor man of one, my brethren, within any of the gates in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not harden thy heart, nor shut thy hand from the poor brother.
All right.
But thou shalt open thy hand wide upon him, and shall surely lead him sufficient for his need, and that which he wanteth. Beware that there be not a thought in thy wicked heart, saying, the 7th year, the year of release, is at hand, and thine eye be evil against thy poor brother, and thou giveth him not, and he cried to the Lord against thee, and it be sin upon thee. Thou shalt surely give him, and thine heart shall not be grieved when thou givest unto him, because that for this thing the Lord thy God shall bless thee in all thy works, and in all thou puttest in thy hand unto. For the poor shall never cease out of the land. Therefore I command thee, saying, thou shalt open thy hand wide upon the brother to thy poor, and to thy needy in the land. Now Matthew 25, 42 to 25, 45. For I was an hungered, and ye gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and you took me not in. Naked, and you clothed me not. Sick and in prison, and ye visited me not. Then shall thou also answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee an hungered, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee? Now, this verse right here is going to set the tone for what I'm going to talk about today.
All right.
Then shall he answer them, saying, verily I say unto you, inasmuch as you did it not for one of the least of these, ye did it not for me.
All right.
That's going to set the tone right there, what I'm talking about. Now,
Yes, it is.
the main thought, there will never cease to be some in the need on the earth. I therefore command you, open your hand to the poor and needy and neighbor in your Deuteronomy 15 and 11. Now, I'm going to try to set the setting for you. First, I'm going to read this unifying principle. This might help you out a little bit too. We sometimes have doubts about helping those who turn to us for assistance. What determines our willingness and standards for helping others? The Deuteronomy passage, a version from Matthew 25, reveals God's command to give generously to needy people. Give generously to needy people.
All right.
Give generously to needy people.
All right.
Okay, now the setting, the lesson setting, that's in the late 13th century BC, that BC is before Christ, place plains of Moab, Deuteronomy 15, 4 through 11. And part of Moses' final discourses to the Israelites in preparation for entering the promised land, the plains of Moab, east of the Jordan River, near the northeastern edge of the Dead Sea, served as a staging area that their 40-year journey in the wilderness. 40-year journey. 40-year journey in the wilderness. The occasion is Moses' reiteration of the laws and commandments given by God to guide the Israelites in their new life in Canaan. Matthew 25, 42 through 45 again. It's from the Sermon on the Mount.
Yes, sir.
Which take place just before Jesus' arrest and crucifixion. Just before his arrest and crucifixion. Now, I'm going to jump into this. If anybody got any comments, any questions, I'll try my best to help you out. If not, just voice whatever you got to say. Now, this is something, every time I don't know about whoever else teach you, whatever, but every time I get off into the lesson, I always see something I ain't never heard before.
That's it.
Okay?
That's it.
Deuteronomy 15, 4 to 11 addresses the year of release. Anybody ever heard of that?
That's right.
The year of release.
That's right.
Why can't we have it in this country now? I'm going to tell you what the year of release is. The year of relief is a practice for forgiving debts every 7 years to prevent long-term poverty and economic disparity.
Say that again. Yes, sir.
Ain't that something?
Yes, sir.
Wouldn't it be, whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to that?
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, they just
Yep.
wiped it off.
Yep.
Okay? Moses declared that Moses declared that there should be no poor among the Israelites if they obey God's command. He exhorts them to be gracious and generous, especially towards the fellow Israelites who are in need.
That's right.
This practice reflects God's concern for social justice and economic fairness.
All right.
The year of release. I thought about that and I thought about that. And to give everybody a fresh start.
That's right.
Forgive your debts.
That's right.
You know, and let you get back on your feet again.
That's right.
That's totally different than what's going on now.
Tell me about it. Tell me
That's
about
totally different. Me and Yang was talking about medical insurance.
Yep.
Talking about what a COVID shot costs now if you ain't got
That's
no
right.
insurance.
That's right.
I think he said $200. $200 to get a COVID shot. You ain't got no insurance.
Man. Telling you.
That's sad, man. Now, talk so much, I don't get where I was at now. Now, as Jesus speaks about the final judgment in Matthew 25, 42 through 45, check this out. He condemns people who fail to show compassion toward needy persons.
That's right.
He condemns people who fail to show compassion toward needy persons.
That's right.
He underscored the importance of compassionate action as well as social justice advocacy. Okay, so let you know the folks gonna get there.
That's right.
They're gonna get there.
That's
Whoever
right.
right now and talking to a man yesterday, gas in California $6. I went and got some gas 2 days. At one point it was $3.49. Miss T went and got some gas, it was $3.99. What can I say? Now, together these passages call believers to a life of generosity and compassion, emphasize that giving generously is a fundamental aspect of faith and a reflection of God's love and justice. You know, when you help people, I was all my mama always said this. I was young. A lot of stuff my mama told me to go through one ear and out the other. Didn't pay no attention. But you said when somebody come to your house or come to you and they ask you for something, you know, you could be entertaining an angel.
That's right.
Lord could have sent that person to your door. Okay? Seeing what you gonna do.
That's right. That's right.
Okay? You know, I see that now because I know people now. It was two people that walked the street and they would come by the house if it wasn't every day, it was every other day. And George never turned them.
That's right.
She always give him something, cook him something, and give him something.
All right. All right.
And he knew where to go and show you how things work. It was Thanksgiving. And I got my bed of food and got me to take out, carry out, bring home and put in the refrigerator, you know, and get ready for the next day. You know, so I filled up pretty good. Knock on the door. Okay? And Joyce, I said, just give him that.
That's right.
Just give him that.
That's right.
And you know, I can go get some more if I
That's
want
right.
some more.
That's
Just
right.
give him that.
That's right.
He took that. He went out, and I noticed he had disappeared. I don't know where it was. So I'm finna get him a truck, I'm finna leave. He went around the side of the house. He laid up beside the house and went to sleep. He went to sleep. And I said, I didn't touch him. I didn't mess with him. I just let him sit there and sleep. And he got his belly full, and he was full, and I came back, he was gone. But you know, you never know. And then the young man, everybody think he was crazy, thought something was wrong with him. I did too. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I did too. Until one day he was reading the Bible. He had a Bible in his hand, and he was reading the Bible. I said, I'm gonna tell you his name. Y'all know. I said, Elijah, what you reading? I said, I'm reading this scripture. I said, it's good. He's a well-educated man. Nobody knew that. Nobody knew that. He was you know, and he was reading his Bible, and I didn't. You know, I sat there and listened to him, and he talked, and he would talk to Joyce, and Joyce, you know. But and there was another person that walked the street that he'd be full of it all the time.
Yeah, I need something to eat.
Give him something. Give him something to eat. But you never know. I'm gonna leave that alone, but you never know. Now, here we go again. The blessings of an obedient nation. Deuteronomy 15:4-6. Deuteronomy 15 begins with the introduction of the year of release. Moses instituted this event to occur every 7 years, wherein debts were to be forgiven and those who had fallen into economic distress were given a fresh start. This practice promoted social justice and economic fairness by preventing accumulation of burdensome debt and ensuring poverty did not persist among the Israelites. That's how you handle it. You give people a fresh start. Give them a fresh start. That ain't gonna happen in the United States, not now. It's not gonna happen. You know, that's just the way it is. Moses persists that there should not be any poverty in the land as rich as the one the Lord has given them. That's the land of the Canaan. You know, it shouldn't be nobody, no poor, nobody forgiving anything. You know, wanting anything. Now, full compliance with this covenant requirements was persistent for Israel's prosperity in the land. Simply this: they are to carefully obey the voice of the Lord. Carefully obey the voice of the Lord. You got to be careful. You got to watch what you say and watch what you do. You got to watch how you treat people. You know, I'm not saying I'm no angel. You see what I'm saying? You make me mad, I'm gonna talk to you. You know, but you know, I try to get along with everybody. You know, that's all I can do is try to get along. Okay. Now, the 6th verse of God's blessing, as a result of obedience, Moses announces that the Lord your God will bless you just as He promised. The prevailing concept of blessing includes material prosperity, fertility, and success in various endeavors. These ancient particular promises would become the means of blessing the whole world. The whole world. An additional result of obedience to God would lead to the international promise. Now, here we go. The blessings of generous people. The blessings of a generous people. Now, that's coming from Deuteronomy 15, 7 through 11. Now, having considered the theoretical possibility of avoiding poverty, Moses shifts to its practical reality. In these verses, he acknowledges realistic conditions and instructs more affluent persons in society in dealing with poor people. Now, how does Israel demonstrate gratitude towards God's generosity? How do they express thanksgiving for his grace in the land where they will live? They repay their grace by helping the poor among them. Moses warned them against the hardened heart and shut their hands to poor people. He warned you. He warned them. The same thing God does. A hardened heart and a closed hand indicate apathy and insensitivity toward the plight of persons in need. Moses' commandment primarily addresses the common attitude of wealthy Israelites. It seems incongruent that those who have much would be so dismissive of those who have very little. However, the disregard of those living in poverty persists to this day. This happens today. You know, it's like some people, if they feel like they're above you, and they got money and you don't have money, or they got more than what you got, they don't, excuse my language, or they don't care nothing about you. It's just simple as that. Just simple as that. And it's bad to say, but it's the truth. Now, all right. A hypothetical scenario of brothers who need a loan as a substantial year of release is near test commitment to the principal. Fearing failure to receive full repayment, check this out. People might rebuff loans as a sabbatical year approaches. Moses characterized this as an act of evil because it leaves needy unsatisfied. Thus he may cry out to the Lord against the transgressor. The purpose of loan to a fellow Israelite was not to return on investment, but to provide generosity for the people. People give you a loan, they won't say I loan you $40 and I want 25 back. You ain't helping nobody. You see what I'm saying? That's just how it was. That's just how it was. Now, open hand generosity could only come from a compassionate heart. A compassionate heart. Selfishness can only come from a willing hand, obedient heart committed to loving God. Of course, reluctant obedience to provide for the poor, but an unwilling heart will ultimately degrade the recipient. Now, this next outline, I wish a whole lot of people in here to hear this. Judgment of the goats. Matthew 25, 42 through 45. In Matthew 25, 31 through 40, Jesus teaches on the final judgment set within the Olivet Discourse, which Jesus delivers on the Mount of Olives, shortly before his arrest and conviction. He emphasized the importance of compassionate action and ethical responsibility of believers. In the final judgment, the Son of Man will come in his glory, y'all remember this now, with all the angels, and sit on the throne there where all the nations of the earth gather before him. He will separate people into two groups, like a shepherd separates sheep from goats. Sheep and goats intermingle freely and often look quite similar, at least from a distance. Check this out now. Check this out now. The wool on the sheep made from more valuable than the goats. Made them more valuable than the goats. Naturally, Jesus chose the sheep to represent the righteous who are blessed by God and will inherit his kingdom. Yes, sir. He places them on the right side. Yes, sir. Okay? Now, his right side, the place of honor. All right. He put the goats who represent the unrighteous on the there you go. Y'all speak up. The left side. All right. The left side. Yes, sir. The place of disgrace. Jesus blesses the sheep for their good behavior. Yeah. They care for Christ for feeding the hungry, right. Giving drink to the thirsty, yes, clothing the naked, yeah. Showing hospitality to the stranger, yeah. And visiting the sick and in prison. Yes, They did these acts of kindness without seeking reward and acknowledgments from the deeds, for their deeds.
All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
As they performed these acts of kindness for their brothers and sisters, they gave this service to Jesus himself.
All right.
You see what I'm saying? That's what it's all about right there. Now, the focus then shifts to the judgment of the unrighteous.
Yes, sir.
Jesus condemned them to eternal punishment for their lack of regard for the poor and vulnerable among them.
All right.
The goats live as a symmetrical atheist to the character of the sheep. The sheep are invited to come inherit the kingdom that has been prepared for them. Conversely, the goats are banished from the king's presence and favor. The sheep receive eternal life while the goats descend to, you know where they're going. I ain't got to tell you. You know where they're going. The sin of neglect explains the judgment. Jesus accused the unrighteous for failing to act with compassion when he was in need. The list of needy conditions they failed to meet is most exhaustive, but representative of numerous needs the poor have. Each need is central to survival and quality of life. Survival, man. We, you know, they're trying to survive.
That's it.
And you still don't want to help them.
That's it.
It's just like what's going on now.
Yes, sir.
We're trying to survive, but he doing everything to help the other people.
That's it.
And that's just sad.
Yes, it is.
The unrighteous goats feel surprised at the king's accusation of neglecting to care for him. They seem surprised. Mhm.
That's it.
To resolve their confusion, they ask, same thing, Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger or naked or sick or in prisons and did not minister you? The ghost surprise suggests that they were focused on their own concerns rather than the needs of others.
All right.
The self-contentedness prevented them from seeing opportunities to serve marginalized and vulnerable people. Vulnerable people, poor people.
Yes, sir.
They may have misunderstood what it means to be righteous. They may have believed that righteousness equated with religious rituals and personal piety instead of compassion and social justice.
All right.
They were confused. They was confused. Regardless of the reason of their neglect, Jesus still condemned it.
Yes, he did.
In the solemn language of the foresight observed, he declares, inasmuch as you did not do it to
That's it.
one of the least of these, you did not do it for me.
All right.
You did not do it to me.
All right.
They neglected needy. Now check this out. Their neglect of needy disciples equals neglecting him.
Yes, sir.
By identifying himself with the least of these, Jesus stresses that caring for people in need partially defines his person and mission. His person and mission. It emphasizes the intrinsic worth and dignity of every person, especially those whom society marginalizes. With a broader perspective, it calls for a universal ethic of compassion
Yes, sir.
and justice, urging believers to see Christ in the vulnerable people and to respond with love and service. I ain't never heard that. I ain't never heard nobody in the White House say nothing about God. Correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. You ever heard Trump say something about Jesus? You ever heard that vice president say something about Jesus? About God? No. Jesus also offers the illustration of judgment. They to inspire believers to prepare. They're properly preparing, living in compassion and service. Embodying these values, believers not only prepare for the final judgment, but also create a more just and compassionate world, reflecting the love and grace of God in their daily lives. Simple, 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 simple. Lesson applied. It is unfortunate to many Christians limit acts of generosity to monetary gifts. While recipients respect and appreciate such kindness, the griever must be careful about underlying motives for acts of generosity. There are people who give money to avoid dirtying their hands and having to do with anything else. More is needed by those who have resources to give. God give all of us an ability, endowments, and grace that can only emerge through a willingness to give. Now this last little verse here is something some people, I don't say everybody, but it wouldn't hurt for everybody to remember this. As followers of Christ, we must consider the call from God to give generously to our time, talent, presence, and even our money. A lot of people got, man, a lot of people, you got a lot of talented people sitting out here in the congregation, man. But that's their call. It's not my call. It's their call. That's their call. Now, I got a couple of minutes. Let's talk about this. How does Deuteronomy 15:4 and 11 emphasize the importance of being open-handed and generous toward those in need within the community? In what ways of the year a release reflects God's concern for social justice and economic fairness? How does it compare to our current economic practices? That's a good question. How does it compare to our, right now, economic practices? Ain't no comparison. They don't want to give us a break on nothing. 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 Nothing at all. How does Jesus identify himself with the marginalized and vulnerable, and what does this imply about the responsibility of giving generous? How does the failure to care for the needy impact our relationship with Christ and our standing in the final judgment? I already read that about the right and the left. Okay, it ain't gonna hurt you. You might not have. If you ain't got you got some peanut butter and jelly. Get somebody something. That's it. Go in there and make a sandwich and give them something. Get a biscuit and put peanut butter in it. That's right. Give them something. Just don't, don't just ignore them at all. Now, how can we cultivate a heart of generosity and passion in our daily lives and communities? It's just trying to get along, man. Try to get along and like now, you go to church and have a good time, enjoy yourself. Hear the word, sing it. You hear some, sing a song. Or hear some singing or something, just don't sit there and sit back there on your phone taking selfies. That's right. Texting your boyfriend or texting your girlfriend or something like that. Listen. You might learn something. You might hear something that might surprise you. Just like I say, every time I try to get up here and do something, man, I find out something new. I ain't never heard of no release. I ain't never heard of that. Never heard of that. The furthest thing from my mind. Because looking, I try. I look at the Arkansas news. The world news. When I hear David Murray come on, he give this first little deal about what's what. I turn the station on because I already know what it's leading to. All you can do is pray. Pray to God. God gonna help you. He done helped us for a long time. A lot of times we just think we didn't go through what some of our four fathers and four sisters and brothers, and way back in the long day, they prayed for a long time. Then they got relief. And what's so strange about that, when they got relief, they didn't know they was free. Didn't know they was free. Didn't even know it. And them folks kept working them. You don't know it, I ain't gonna tell you. Keep on working them. Work them and work them. Okay? 4 acres and a mule. You ain't seen no mule, no 4 acres or nothing. You saw that whip. And they worked for a long time before they, and then, what really, I'm gonna give you a little history here before I shut up. And then, Lincoln got killed. When Lincoln got killed, that was it. That was it. They stayed in slavery for another, I don't know how long. Okay, they was talking about 400 years. And they was talking about the mess that's going on in the, forgive me, Lord, but I'm gonna say it. In the Epstein files, they was talking about that. And one black lady told me this. She said if that was me, you, him, or all black men, we'd have been locked up so fast and the penitentiary would have been it. They've been raping women, physically abusing women for 300, 400 years. They didn't do nothing then. What makes you think you're going to do something now? That's right. See what I'm saying? They ain't gonna do nothing. Okay, so like I said, like I tell, when we get to talking about it, I'm sitting there, I said, look, I don't know. This lady done prepared me a nice breakfast. Don't spoil my appetite. I'm gonna go on and eat this and I'm going on about my business. Ain't nothing you can do about it. But the key to this whole lesson is just be generous as you possibly can to people in need. You know, everybody's struggling, everybody's scuffling now. I understand that. God understands that. But all he said we do is make an effort to be nice to people. Make an effort to try to help people. And hopefully I didn't bore you. And God bless you. God keep you. And keep on praying.